Mhm.
That's breastfed baby.
Okay, that's right. They were very loose. And
Very, very loose. These were
yeah.
almost like.
Did you have him circumcised in the hospital?
Uh-huh. That seems to be doing pretty good too. It bothered him the first day a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't seem to bother him now.
Yeah, it shouldn't. And there's probably some kind of a little discharge type thing on the outside of the penis. It might be gone by now, but usually it's a
Yeah.
yellowish type stuff that
Yeah.
people notice, and that's just normal. That's just the healing.
Yeah.
Sometimes people think it looks like pus, and it really does look like pus. And if you don't
Yeah,
know
it looks
better.
just like it. Yeah.
How are you, Kevin?
We
I'm
got
so
another
glad you
sucker,
asked.
huh?
I kept him quiet, didn't I? Kept him turning all the buttons on. Oh, it got a
You're gonna
smile.
get spanked.
Ooh, that's good. Not that picture.
It's sure do come in handy.
Yeah. You have a breast pump now.
No, I don't.
Okay, are you
Oh
interested?
wait, I do. Do I have one? I might upstairs.
Do you collect and store your breast milk?
Most of the time I do, but I'm not getting as much as I did with the last 3 kids. I mean, not half as much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Well-
know what's going on.
Well, it might be, if he's only sucking 5 minutes on a breast, it might be because he's not building up your supply.
Okay, 'cause
you know-
maybe I'll do that after
No,
he's done
look at his
eating.
hand, he's got his eyes.
After he's done eating is the best time to do it, right? To build up the supply?
Yes, and I'll go over that with you. I can do
Okay.
that now as far as that goes.
I know I have plenty of milk.
Yeah, but see, now he really, I would expect him. Now, it's not, kids are not all the same, okay?
Uh-huh.
So you can't say what's good for one is good for the other, but I would expect him to be doing more than say 5 or 7 minutes on a breast now. I would expect him at this age to be doing about 10 to 15 minutes on a breast.
yeah?
But then, you know, maybe he has a very effective suck, and maybe he's emptying your breast in that period of time. He certainly is
Yeah,
wetting
'cause
up a
he's
storm.
sleeping. I
And
mean,
he's
he's
not
not
a-
waking up every
Yeah,
hour and a half to 2 hours, which I'm just,
pleased about.
I'm just amazed.
Yeah. That's great. So, you know, and the wets, that's what we go by. You're not giving him anything else, so obviously he's getting enough fluid. So
Oh,
it just
yeah.
might be that he's very efficient. But anyway, what you could do is, you know, if he seems to want to go longer, let him. But I'm sure you do that. You just,
Yeah,
he just
right.
kind of stops.
Right.
Okay. Well, this is this is a pump that really seems to work well. It's called a Marshall or Canison breast pump. And if you're interested, you know, they do sell them at the hospital, however, not retail. You know, when you're in the hospital, sometimes you can get them. They have them at Bergstrom's baby stores and through this lady who's on this flyer. And they cost about this $25. So it's up to you. If you can hand express and do well with that, you can always stick with that. That's
Yeah, if you wanna
difficult for
spend
some
an
people.
hour doing
That's
it.
right. And I wouldn't personally. But then some people, their milk just squirts out.
What
There's
if
no
it just
problem.
goes into a little bottle then? You
Well,
don't
it's
have to...
it's neat. It's kind of like I think of it as a trombone. You know, you put it on your
Yeah.
breast, and then it's like a cylinder, and you move it back and forth. It's very effective. It's the most effective breast pump, except for an electric.
Can you set him up a little bit?
So if you're interested in that, you know, you can get that. If you want to do some collecting and storing, and that would be mainly, you're not going to work, I believe you said, you're not
No.
going to be working, okay. So mainly it would be just when you and your husband wanted to go out, or if you wanted to take
Yeah.
a trip or something and didn't want to take the baby.
Well, I think it's always good, like if I get too tired at
Yeah,
night or something. I think
that's true, and it gives other people a chance to feed the baby. Sometimes you can pump and let them feed it in a bottle on occasion
Yeah.
if it's, you know. So you can decide if you have a breast pump upstairs that will work, you can try that. But this is
Well, I
just
didn't
not.
like the one I had.
Yeah, this might be really helpful for you, and so if you're interested, fine.
Yeah. I loved that electric one in the hospital.
Oh yeah, wasn't that great?
There was nothing like that
That's
thing.
right.
Didn't even hurt. Didn't get sore nipples or nothing.
I know it. Super. How are the kids handling the new baby?
Oh, fine.
Is Kevin surviving?
He's just surprised the death out of me.
He's just
It's
being.
not bothering him at all.
Yeah.
He
He's
comes
just,
over and kisses
Does
all
he?
the time.
yeah,
Good.
he's just, I just can't believe it.
Of course, you probably know this from your other children too, that don't be surprised if he absolutely goes bonkers in a few
Oh,
days.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's gonna, I don't know, he seems to just be handling everything just fine.
Good.
In fact, I think it was good for him for me to be gone. He's gotten very independent since I've been gone.
Oh, great. I'm trying to remember, do you have one girl?
No, they're
All boys? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah, I was trying to have it written down, but I forgot to look
That's what I said.
at it. Well, maybe next time. I mean, who knows? It was your hospital experience pretty good overall?
Until the last night I was there,
Really?
they had a fire.
They did?
A little tiny one, but it was there.
On our floor?
No, on the floor right below us, dietary.
Mm-hmm.
The dietary north corridor. I'll never forget it.
Why did you hear, were they saying it over the intercom?
They were saying it over the intercom.
Mhm.
And
The nurses couldn't talk afterwards.
the poor girl that was trying to say it over the intercom couldn't say it calm.
Oh, really?
No, she was,
That's amazing, because you know
Very
they drills
upset.
all the time, and just,
I know, but
you
then
hear
the
those-
fire trucks came.
Ah,
And they stayed for about half an hour.
could you see them out your window?
Uh-huh. We watched them drive right up.
Yeah.
And then they left.
Well, I've never known, except like 2 days later, on something like that, whether or not it's a real fire.
Yeah.
Unless it's
Well, you
happening right
could
in
just
front
tell
of me.
by the girl that was talking over the loudspeaker.
Oh, but it was really, she must
Yeah.
have been new.
She was scared to death.
Oh, my goodness.
You could just, she just, you know, if it wouldn't have been for her, I never would have
Yeah.
doubted it. Never would have
Yes.
doubted it. But it was because of her voice.
And then you were exhausted when you came home because you hadn't slept.
I didn't sleep a wink that night.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is I made myself sore. The nurses came in and told me I had to have my bed rails up. Well, the other nurses would let me have it down by the
Mhm.
end of the bed so I could get up and go to the
Mhm.
bathroom. But she said, no, you just call me. And I said, okay, you know.
You called and she
I'll
would
just
come.
call you. And without thinking, I heard the fire drill,
Yeah.
and I jumped out of bed.
Oh, no. Over the rail?
Over the
Oh, my God.
I was so sore the next day.
Next time, go over the end of the
I
bed.
just didn't even think of it, you know. You just.
I know.
I was on my way to the nursery.
Yeah, yeah. I know you always envision something, you know, like those Las Vegas fires where you never think it's
Yeah.
going to happen, but you never know.
Right. Well, my sister was telling me that the hospitals are the safest place because they can actually close and seal off a
Yeah.
fire,
Yeah. The doors
And
automatically
put it-
shut.
put it out,
Hmm.
and nobody even knows there was a fire.
And all those doors are fire doors, and I mean they actually clank shut. And if you're in the way, if the nurse is not you, but if you know, because you
Yeah.
wouldn't be up, but if the nurses are in the way, I've had nurses get hit by those doors, and it's just
Well, that's-
unfortunate.
I saw those doors coming out from
Yeah.
the walls, clanking shut. You could hear them seal. You
Yeah.
could just hear them seal.
And it's, you know, if you get claustrophobia, sometimes that could bother you, but
Yeah.
I'd rather be, you know, enclosed
Yeah.
and not have the fire get near.
But other than that, I had a real good hospital stay. The nurses were great. I didn't
Good.
have any problems. Whenever you asked for anything, you got it one time, you know,
Mhm.
but that's
Yeah.
no big deal. It was just all together, it was really good.
Good.
It really was. The nurses were really understanding and
Great. We're always glad to hear that you've had a good experience, even though you haven't been in the ABC area. Because
yeah.
you know we have the ABC nurses are really geared more to. Do you have any, you know, comments about that? But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm glad that it went well for you. Did you have any trouble with breast engorgement at all when your milk came in?
No, that's what I mean. I haven't had any.
Great. You feel full, and then when the baby nurses it, you feel relieved.
I don't feel full like I used to feel full.
Mhm.
Does that have anything to do with the C-section? Does
Yes.
the body throw off the same type
Well,
of chemical?
It's
or-
not unusual for your milk to come in later with a C-section.
Oh.
With
Now, I
the,
know my milk's there, but it's
Yeah.
just not as much as I usually get so much. By this time, we are changing the sheets.
hmm
So I always had too much, way too
Yeah.
much, and I was uncomfortable. But
It might just be that this is your fourth child, you know, that might have something to do with it. It might be the C-section, you're right, that maybe the hormones are just not pumping in there right as much as they would. And so, yeah, your milk is in, obviously,
yeah,
but it may be a few more days until you get that real full feeling, or maybe you won't have it, and hopefully you won't, because the baby's getting plenty of fluid, so there's no problem in that area. So I would
Okay.
keep my fingers crossed
okay. What kind of fluids am I looking for to make sure that my milk is satisfying?
for you to drink, you're talking
No,
about?
I mean you were talking about the diaper changes.
Oh, you're looking for him to have at least 6 wets in a 24-hour period.
Okay.
Okay, and
6
he's doing
wets.
very well. He's doing fine on that because
Okay.
if you fed him every 4 hours around the clock, basically, that would be 6 wets. Okay,
Okay.
if you changed him every time and he was wet every time, which you said he
Uh-huh.
was, and then you say sometimes he wets while you're feeding him, so there's no problem there at all.
Okay.
But you can use that as a good gauge if you ever think that he's not getting enough fluid. You can kind
Okay.
of keep
Yeah, I
track of
didn't
that.
know that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, with the engorgement, you probably, did you ever have any, in case you do get a little bit full, you know, in the
Mhm.
next few days, do you know what to do for that, like with the warm
Yeah,
packs
warm-
and?
Warm washcloths. And
Yes. Have you ever had a bladder infection?
Yes. I
Okay.
know what those
You know what that, okay, that you want to be alerted so that you know if you've got one of those brewing, because these are things that need to be, if they're nipped in the bud, then everything goes real
Right.
smoothly, but if you let them get out of hand, then you can really be a sick lady.
Yeah.
An infection of the uterus is more common after having had a baby also. And the main symptom of that would be foul-smelling vaginal discharge. It's
Okay.
normal for your vaginal discharge to smell like a menstrual period, even a very strong menstrual period.
Uh-huh.
But it should not smell rotten. Okay, so if
Okay.
you take your pad down and it just for 2 days since you've had the baby home, you probably are having less and less discharge. The other infection I'm not going to go over with you because it has to do with a perineal infection and you don't have any
Okay.
problem down there. That evaluation form that you have, if you would like to fill that out, you can just mail it into the hospital, okay, and put
Okay.
attention ABC
Okay.
on that. I realize you didn't use the ABC room, but still they're interested in knowing how about your hospital experience.
Sure.
I thought the ABC room was really great.
Oh, good.
That nurse in there was really a
Who'd you
lovely
have?
lady.
I can't remember the name of that nurse, and I really wished I could, because you know what?
What?
I think when she did the vaginal delivery, she's the one that realized the baby was breech.
Miss Breach and told the doctor. What
Because
did
she
she
wasn't
look
going
like?
to call the doctor.
Uh-huh.
She was silver-haired.
I can't
And
remember,
all I
because
know
you know
is-
what? There was a change. There was a shift change.
Yeah,
Supposed to get off at 11:30, and she stayed longer because you were there.
She was on PMs then.
I came in about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
5:30.
And she was on, then she couldn't have been 5, then she must have been on the night shift.
She was on the late PM shift
She was
from
the
like
early,
11
the
to...
graveyard.
Oh, the graveyard, okay, yeah, that
Graveyard,
might have
yeah.
been Arline.
I never did catch her name. I
Yeah.
never did.
Okay, I don't know, I'm not
I'm
that familiar with
I-
him. Look, does he look at
Oh,
himself
he
in
wants
there?
to see himself in
Ah!
there. But, you know, because I know they don't call the doctor when you're dilated to 5.
No, not usually, especially in the middle of the night.
And I just know that she's the one
Mm-hmm.
that knew.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really do.
Yeah, the nurses a lot of times are the first to discover that.
What do you
And
want?
also, they were really quick in
Mhm.
getting the girl.
I mean, when he said I
Yeah.
had to have a
And
C-section,
gone.
I was gone.
Yeah.
Very efficient.
Well, they don't want to put you through anything, why continue
Yeah.
in labor for a few hours?
Now, did she
My
go
mom went
into
out-
the delivery room with me?
Yeah.
She did come in with me. She was an older lady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she wasn't young.
I don't know that, I don't
I'm
know.
her
sure she had a
hairstyle was
little
about
bit of
like
gray
yours.
hair.
But it
Mine.
had a little silver in
A
it.
little silver, a little gray.
And I know she gets off at 11:30. And
Did she
she's-
wear glasses?
I
can't
I
remember.
can't remember now.
She helped me so much
Mhm.
because he broke my water, and I'm telling you, that was it.
Really?
And it happens to me. I
Yeah.
try to tell him, don't break my water because you're going to be sorry.
I wonder why he broke it if he knew
He
you were
didn't
breech.
mean to. He didn't mean to, but
Mhm.
I was just bulging. You could feel
I
the
see.
water just bulging.
Yeah.
And
So then it started your labor
it was like
really
a pressure
hard.
point.
I was pushing before I got into that delivery room.
Lord.
And I
Mhm.
knew it was going to happen because it happened before.
Yeah, but like you said, he didn't do it
There
on
wasn't
purpose,
anything
so,
he
yeah.
could do, but that nurse, I wished that we knew who she was because she was just something else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have made it without her. I know I wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's super.
We're just sad we couldn't really experience that ABC room.
Yeah.
Because, we had my mom there and her
We
sister.
were, I
Yeah,
was
you had everybody
really
ready to
upset.
roll.
But the thing was, my mom went out and made a telephone call to tell her brother that she was here, and she walks back in, and the whole place is in a ruckus.
Yes.
Didn't know what the heck was going
Yeah.
on.
Are you in the picture?
And that's why with home delivery, you see, that's why people that want home deliveries, you never know when this is going to come up. You haven't the slightest idea.
I wouldn't even recommend
Yeah.
it now after this happened.
No.
But you just don't know. And what if you had that kid and he broke your membranes here? You'd have had that kid breach whether you wanted to or not by the
know
time
it.
you got to the hospital.
I know it. I'm so glad that I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm so glad because it was just.
To see, there's more of an incidence of cerebral palsy, if you remember from the class.
That's what the doctor
Dr.
said.
Latterfield
Mhm.
was telling us about.
And I don't want to chance that kind of thing.
No.
I don't care what. Regarding any drugs that you take, go directly through your milk to the baby. Okay, so just keep that in mind all the time that you're nursing. So that if you're put on something and you're not sure that it's okay, you can always check with your pediatrician. Regarding the collecting and storing of breast milk, did you have a particular routine that you used that worked well?
If I was going to do it, I did it when he was finished nursing.
Good. And what we
And
recommend,
I freeze it,
in what
and
kind of
then
containers? Bottles or plastic?
bottles or
okay.
the breast pump that I have has a bottle attached to
I
it.
see.
That's why it doesn't work very well, I think. But then I freeze that, and then I get another one,
Mhm.
another bottle,
Mm-hmm.
and do that, and then I let it cool down to room temperature,
Mm-hmm.
and then I put it in the freezer. I don't stick it in the freezer when it's hot.
Okay, and that sounds fine. We recommend that you don't pump any more than 2 times in a 24-hour period.
Oh, okay.
And the only reason, now if you find that it works okay for you to do that, that's fine, but we try to have you avoid getting engorged. And if you over pump, you're gonna, your body's gonna think that you wanna produce more milk.
Oh, okay.
So that would be the only thing with that, is just you might wanna not do it any more than 2 times in a 24-hour period to start with.
So
and if
that
you
might
find-
help
Build up,
build
yeah.
up. Just 2 times is all I need
Yeah,
to do. Oh,
yeah,
good. I'm glad you said that.
And you don't want to, what you don't want to do is, I wouldn't think anyway, is to nurse the baby. Say the baby starts nursing 15 minutes on the side very shortly.
Mhm.
You don't want to nurse 15 minutes on the side and pump 15 minutes on the side, because you're going to end up, that's the way the body knows that you want to produce more milk, that you need to produce
Yeah.
more milk when the baby starts growing and needs more milk. So what you want to do is just probably pump maybe 5, maybe
5
7 minutes
Yeah.
after a feeding. And another thing that can work pretty well is to use those Playtex nurser type bags, because they're sterile. You don't have to worry about cleaning them or anything else.
Oh, yeah.
And you just
I
pour it
didn't
in,
think about that.
put a baggie twist tie on it, and the only reason you would have to label the date that you pump that first specimen, in the container,
Mhm.
is if you were going to be pumping and keeping it from, say, more than 3 months, because we don't recommend that you keep the milk in the freezer for any more than 3 months.
Okay.
Okay, and it's only good in the fridge. They're saying now 48 hours instead of 24. Used to be that you only could keep it
24
refrigerated for
hours,
24, but now they're saying 48,
Oh,
which
okay.
makes sense to me. I think we're a little too hyper about a lot of
Yeah.
this stuff. Okay, and then once it's brought to room temperature, if he doesn't drink it all, then you have to throw it away.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there are about 4 things that happen at the 10 to 14 day mark after having had the baby, okay? And you might not even be aware that these things are going on, and if you're not, that's fine. But if you are aware of it, just by letting me go over it, sometimes, it doesn't shock you, or you don't think, what's happening? One of the things is that your breasts usually get a little bit smaller and softer because that engorgement period is past. And yours might be a little bit slower, with his full feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he looks fine. You're fairer skinned, and so it
Yeah.
would show up more on him.
It's okay, hon.
Okay, now I just need some warm water here.
Oh, it is on his socks. Look at that.
Oh, it is. I just can't wait to take that diaper down.
Oh, really? Boo-boo, didn't you?
That's right. Yeah. Have I got it where I want to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just takes a
Yeah.
while. How's the color? Not too good, huh? Oh, there you go.
What I do is I start with his head first and do his face, because I'm going to actually scrub his hair later. And I just take the corner and clean the eyes first, because there's usually some crust that forms around there. And then I go behind the ears, and then I get them going by that time usually. And then down in here, that's where your milk, and or if you were feeding him water might collect. And of course it makes them all red because you're stimulating their skin and they're usually crying. You're doing it just like we expect you to. What did you name them?
Andrew.
I like that.
Isn't it funny the difference in his shape of his head?
Oh yeah.
They always say that there's a difference, but my goodness.
Yeah, you always wonder if he's going to look 16, look like that. Well, they don't.
The difference is just something else.
Yes. Flat.
Yeah. You're just so used to it being this way.
That's right. You're used to being misshapen way up here, and when they're just
Yeah.
flat.
You're so pretty when he comes in. Oh,
Now let's see what you got in store for me inside this. Okie doke. Not too bad. And mostly, I think it was mostly the urine that was.
That's what I was thinking, because I thought, gosh, it's awful runny.
Yeah, and that, boy, he's got a nice saturated diaper, so
Yeah,
that's
well,
good.
this is what it's like.
You know why this because you cut the diaper, these little particles are there.
Yeah, I knew
It just
that.
does that. And you don't really need to wash the penis. You know what I mean? I just kind of go around it. It's not going to hurt
Yeah.
it, but you don't need to try to get that discharge off at
No.
all. That's just a normal part of the healing. You do want to get that piece of.
Now that's the most, that is the most discharge I've seen. In fact, I haven't seen any until now.
Yeah, and this is normal. It usually happens at about, I don't know, 2 to 3 days.
Okay. I remember seeing it before. I have to remember seeing it before.
He doesn't have a plastic gel on his penis.
No,
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying that he did. You meant with the other child?
no. What did I say?
I thought you said that plastic thing.
No, the plastic when you fold the diapers over, it gets on the penis.
See, there's a. Have you ever heard? They have sometimes
Yeah,
guys have
plastic
Plastabel.
raining or something
Right.
like
I thought
that.
that's what you were talking about.
No. What I was talking about is plastic when the diapers gets down,
Yeah.
and I'm afraid it's going to irritate it.
I've not ever had that problem. I'll show you how I fold the diaper, and you can see if you think it causes a problem.
Oh, gee.
Because to me, it's more of a hassle trying to get these little fuzz balls off here
Yeah.
than it is to. All right, sweetheart. So we turn your tummy just for a minute, huh? You know, I'm trying to. I wouldn't mind
When you
trying to
have
find out. No, it's just
when
that
you
I'm not
have-
sure. I don't know with that description if I.
Well,
I'll ask-
maybe it's even the wrong. There were a couple of nurses in there. Like I said, we did hit at shift change.
Mark,
at
I'll
7
try to
o'clock.
remember. Call me like during the morning, you know, between 8:30 and 9:30 at the hospital, and ask for
Okay.
Adele, and I'll try. And at least if I haven't by then, I'll do it right then.
Well, I'll give you a couple days. Well, I would
Yeah,
like
call
to
me
know
next week.
if she was the one that discovered
Uh-huh.
that it was a breach. I would really like to know that. I don't know why. It just seems so strange that the doctor was there when I dilated to 5.
Yeah.
Not unless he might have been there already.
Maybe he was there for another patient.
Yeah, maybe he was, and then he just decided to see it. I don't know. This umbilical cord looks like it might fall off a little soon.
Well, it's not dry down here. See, that's what you got to do. Is you got to get down there, and I'm going to do that last. I'll show you how to
Well, I just always just
do it on the.
around the edge.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you. See, that's the top of it is dry, pretty much. You know, it's like a scab,
Yeah.
but it's down underneath where it's not dry.
And then I worry that this thing's going to come
Yeah.
up and push the umbilical cord off. And,
I've never had any problem. This is the way you do it in the hospital.
okay.
But it's really just whatever you're comfortable with. Now I'm going to do his head. Guess what, Andy? It's almost over. You're not doing too badly, though. Sometimes they just scream bloody murder the whole time.
No, you aren't doing too bad, huh? You aren't doing too bad, huh?
I usually just wrap their hands up, and I'm not always real successful at doing that. But it just keeps their hands out of the way.
Oh, it's sprinkling.
Yeah, when I was, no, I understand why particularly they get that way, but a lot of them do at first when they're brand new. It's normal for babies to have blue hands and feet, and especially you'll notice that at bath time.
Yeah.
It's because their peripheral circulation is poor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's fine.
My hands are so cold, I'm afraid I'm going to get it too hot.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's fine to me, but I'm in the
You're
same
doing
boat.
nice.
And then you just,
Oh, my goodness.
yeah, I know. And you don't have to worry about the soft spots, you know, they've got
Yeah.
tough membranes. So.
Yeah.
But you just stimulate that head and it'll turn a little red.
Goodness.
wearing your shoes.
Yeah. Okay.
There.
That brush is not hard. I know it looks like it, but
It's not
it
like
looks
a scrub
terrible.
brush.
Yeah.
Sounds hard.
That's what we use on their initial bath, and we scrub their head with Physoderm to get the blood off and stuff.
Oh, dear.
Now you got a little hat on, huh? Now I'll show you how to do this umbilical stump. Okay, now see that extra gunk there?
Yeah.
You can do this with a Q-tip if you want. See that
Yeah, I do
down
it with a
there?
Q-tip.
Okay, because you sometimes can get down there better, but this is where you want it to dry, and this
Oh,
little bits of
okay.
that stuff will come off. And see down here, you have to pull the skin back a little bit. 'Cause see, that's still, I know that, but that's still wet down there.
Oh,
So that's the
okay.
place you want to be. You don't have to pull the thing itself. You can pull the skin down and just like.
Okay.
And if you have a Q-tip, sometimes it's easier because then you don't have to do so much pulling.
Yeah, I just kind of,
Kind of
all
put it
I do
around.
is just drop it around the edges. I didn't know you had to
Okay,
pull
yeah,
it down.
yeah.
Nobody's
Most
ever
people
showed me
don't. I
that.
know. But that's, it'll dry up faster. That's because that's where it has to be able to dry
Yeah.
before it's going to fall off. Because this is
Yeah.
already dry.
Does his belly button looks kind of big?
Yeah, it does. But I'm sure it'll all. We grow around those things.
Yeah. Does his chest look a little like when he was crying real hard? It would sunk way in right here.
I think that's just some people are built that way differently.
Oh.
See, what you mean is like what we call retractions, which would well,
Oh, that's what I was talking about. He's cold, right?
he probably is right because
Okay.
we're just we've got him exposed.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
shivering like. Yeah. He's
And it does
cold.
cool him off. Yeah. Now, do you have his clothing?
Yeah.
All right, Pumpkin. Well, goodness.
Take all the newborn clothing out. I sure did.
Okay.
That's what I was doing. Yeah.
Okay, kiddo. I like these little things because they just keep them all
Well, he
nice
keeps them
and.
warmer, I
Yeah.
think. I have always liked those steps.
Uh-huh.
But I think they're keeping us warm now. But I had a baby December 27th in 1973, and I'm telling you, it was so hot that year
Uh-huh.
that I don't remember ever,
They were using
ever
these?
using these things as much as I want to use these.
Yes.
Yeah, you're still too small for the smalls, huh? You're still too small for the smalls. I got that nesting instinct so long ago. I washed everything up and I had to
Got it
rewash
already.
it again for some. I just felt like it needed to be washed again because I got it so early. There we go.
Achoo!
Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's a little sailor collar, isn't it?
Yeah, see?
That's cute. Well, that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Now, you might want to, like, his lips look a little dry to me. You might want to
Yeah.
just put a little Vaseline on there. Just to,
Okay.
it'll make those little pieces. Boy, you're ready to go, aren't you?
Yeah.
To make that little dryness, that it'll just peel the skin off if you
Yeah.
put Vaseline on
Isn't
there.
that's just from nursing, isn't it?
Well, it's just from, yeah, I don't see it, sometimes I see it when the babies haven't nursed for a while, like in the intermediate nursery where but so that might have been it just maybe a couple of days, I don't know, just dry lips.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, that's it. Yes.
Yeah, look so pretty. Yeah. Let's get your
He's a
blanket.
cutie.
You're cold. Let's get your blanket. You're so cold.
Okay, you want me just to wrap them up, or? Okay. Okay, kiddo. Listen, I'm gonna call you back, Marilyn, in
Okay.
about, let's see, what is today? Thursday.
Thursday.
What I'll probably do is I'll give you a call on either this, if I have to work this weekend, I'll probably call you this weekend, otherwise I'll call you Monday,
Okay.
okay? And just see how things are going. If you have any questions, you can save them up and
Okay.
and write them down, and we'll see how things go. But everything looks super. The baby looks healthy, and you look healthy, and everything's going great.
Everything's going fine, huh?
Yeah.
It's about time.
You're lucky to have such a good baby.
I know. I just know that it's gonna stop pretty soon, or something's gonna.
Oh no, it just might go forever.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Okay.
that be nice?
So listen,
Well, thank you.
You're welcome, and
That
then
was
I'll call
really
you
nice.
for sure by Monday. It depends.
Okay.
It depends on the number of visits. I'm back
Okay.
up this weekend, so I may have to work. And if I work, then I'll give you a call.
All right.
And otherwise, I'll talk to you Monday.
Okay, good. Maybe we can find out who that nurse was
Yeah,
by then.
I'll try to remember to write that down. And if not, when I talk
Because
to you Monday,
she might just remember. You know, if you put a note up on the bulletin board
Yeah.
with the nurse's score or something, she'd probably remember.
and if she works that shift, see, I could talk to her in the morning. Oh no, that's right. Some mornings
That's
I get
real
it
early
earlier,
in the
and that's
morning.
right. I'm not usually there. But anyway, I'll see what I can do. And when I talk to you, if I've forgotten, then remind me to check again, and then I will put it down on my rule book, and I would call you back.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm really curious.
Okay.
Here, Maddie.
Oh, that's no good.
No? What's no good, the scale or how much you weigh?
That's probably all right. 200 pounds.